You know what, I think what's felt special about it is the fact that I got to make this album in so many fun places. It felt very different from the first album. I adored how I made the first album. It was very kind of enclosed and nurturing, and this time we kind of, you know, there was a bit more glitz and glamour, which I would have been completely petrified of the first time round, but it was quite fun this time round, but still, you know, serious work. I don't know, it's been a big year for me, I guess, because, yeah, I wrote this album quite easily. It kind of rolled out, which was really nice, much to do with the help that I got writing it with the friends that I chose to work with.
Now, your first album, I think, reached number 5 in the album chart,
yeah,
which is pretty good, I would say.
Not bad,
pretty
yeah,
good. Were you impressed with that?
Yeah.
Were you overly impressed with that in the sense
yeah,
that, you know, beyond your wildest dreams?
I mean, I think it was a slow week, to be honest, probably, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
No, don't say that.
I was really bowled over. I think it just felt like I had so much support from people that maybe had just read about me and heard a few songs on the radio, and they wanted me to do well, and so they all kind of stuck in and bought my record on the first week, which was really sweet.
Now, Ed Sheeran is also part of this package too, isn't he?
Yes.
Is he involved just with the new single?
Just with Say You Love Me. It was the last song we wrote on the record, and it's, you know, he kind of was like the knight in shining armour. I feel like we were trying to finish this record, and I think we all felt like there was something missing. And so Benny, who had worked on Don't with Ed for his album, and so he was like, well, do you want me to give Benny Ed a call and just see if he's going to be in town, to see if he fancies writing with you? And Ed did want to write with me, and bless him, he came over, and, you know, he was he was promoting his album, and it's very, very time consuming when you're promoting an album. And so the fact that he came over for a few hours to write with me, we didn't know if it was going to work or not. You just don't know.
Had you met him before?
I'd met him really briefly at the end of my American tour in LA. He'd come backstage. He missed the show, but his cousin had come to see the show, who's a friend of mine. And so he'd come to kind of meet me backstage, and I was like, I'm really sorry, Ed, I've got to go because I've got to do TV tomorrow morning really early, so it's really nice to meet you. Help yourself to the rider, I'm off. And he did, so I think he stayed in my dressing room for a bit. So we'd met, and we knew each other, but, you know, don't know whether it's going to work writing together. You just don't.
I mean, it can be awkward, can't it? You know,
totally.
when you first get together.
And you can have such high expectations of something with some person, and you just don't get the song right that day, or you need another day, or you don't really see eye to eye. But me and Ed just worked.
Hit it off.
It really was special. Yeah.
It's funny. It's the very last track that you put together for this.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And could be your biggest hit to date.
Who knows? That'd be nice.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I feel like it's deserving of that.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, so the plans. Well, I guess your diary is absolutely full to bursting over the next, which is great, isn't it? And you were telling me just a minute ago that your voice is something that, you know, can sometimes be very precious to you, and you've got to look after it so much.
I mean, you know, it's a new record, and I'm learning how to perform it live, and it is definitely a more testing record than the first album to sing. So I need to look after myself. It's all about early nights.
Well, I tell you what, there's some amazing female singer-songwriters around at the moment. And, you know, you're up there amongst the best of them, which is great.
Thank you very much.
That's really good.
Kind.
And the new album, I think, is out middle of October, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 13th of October, just before my 30th birthday. I made sure I got another album in my 20s.
That's great. That's wonderful. Okay, well, let's get the new single on, even with a bit of Ed Sheeran on here too. Could you introduce it for us, Jessie? We'll play.
Yeah, sure. This is Jessie Ware, and this is Say You Love Me.
Rutland Radio. Only the best new music.